Have you decided who you're going to vote for?
Probably the Raven Looney Party, because it just about sums up this by-election.
What are your thoughts on the by-election coming up?
Yeah, we've stopped actually believing in the elections ourselves, only because, you vote for these leaders, obviously for all these parties, but what are they actually doing? What are they actually giving us back in return for the community? Nothing. So that's why we've just been put off, not going to vote this year at all.
I believe it's a farce.
This town has been neglected for far too long by the Labour Party, because they have been running this town for ages,
For a fact, I won't be voting, because whoever gets in, it's just going to be the same. If you went to see the MP saying that, well, this could be done in Rochdale, that could be done in Rochdale, they'll just take it all in, and then next minute they just forget about it.
Well, you've got no proper Labour candidates. The Green Party candidate doesn't exist, and our Conservative prospective MP is on holiday. That's how much people are taking it seriously. And this is a town of very large deprivation, probably one of the worst in the northwest. And the people who are supposed to be getting elected for it don't seem to be taking it seriously. So the whole thing, I believe, is you might as well scrap it, and let's not have an MP until we get to the general election, and then people will start taking it seriously.
What's the quality of life like in Rochdale?
Absolutely love the people around here. It's a really friendly town, the community is all one. We stick by each other. It's just the negative people, these crimes, gangs, just need to get these off the road basically, and we'll all be happy.
We need to tackle the housing issues. We need to tackle the unemployment issues. We need to tackle the poverty issues. We need to tackle the homeless issues.
When Maggie Thatcher took over, she just ruined the town and other towns.
And Rochdale, it voted Leave when it was the Brexit referendum. Did you vote for that referendum?
I did. I did vote Leave.
Did you?
Because I don't think we should be paying Europe any money. I don't think we should be paying France any money now.
Do you think that Rochdale's benefited from leaving the EU?
I don't think it's benefited or lost. Nothing's changed here.
Who do you think can bring about that change?
Local people and the Tory party, because they have money, they have the finances, and Labour's going to get hammered in this election, in the by-election and May election as well, due to the atrocities in Iraq first, where they killed millions of humans.
Who would you think about voting for at this by-election?
Well, it would have been Labour, but now it's got to be George, I think.
George Galloway is gonna be is a good voice for the race against Israel, right? So that's why we're going to support George Galloway.
George Galloway is okay. He's utilising this idea, Gaza idea. That is very important.
Could you give some examples about him that you like?
I don't really know much about him. I do know his name, obviously, but I don't know that much about him. They said he'll shake up Parliament, which is not a bad thing, because they need a good shake-up.
What's your thoughts on George Galloway?
George, gorgeous George. I think he was good in the celebrity house thing as an MP. Not sure. He's vacillated from all over the country. He's more of a celebrity than he is an MP, I think.
Normally I vote for Conservative anyway.
What do you like about the Conservative?
Well, number one, I used to work for them. I used to work for them in London. Used to be a security officer for their building many years ago now, back in 2000. So that's why I normally just vote for them anyway.
Conservatives, look, they are the people with money. They are the people with resources. They are the people with media. And they have a lot of good MPs around the country. So we need them sort of people to make a change to Rochdale,
Is there any sort of policies that you like that they have that really appeals to you?
No, not really. I mean, just vote for them because probably I knew them.
In the last 14 years of the Conservatives in power, you could say they've actually made quite a few bad choices about economic policy.
Well, that's arguable. I can argue with you with that. But look at Labour, previously when they had For example, Lorna Fitzsimon, one of the MP, was a junior minister in the administration of Brown and Blair. But despite that, this town has been neglected, you know.
And what's your thoughts on the situation in Israel and Gaza? George Galloway's got those strong opinions
Yeah,
on that. Do you think that's influencing your decision around him?
100%, yeah. I think that's the right way forward, obviously. First things first, whatever's happening in Gaza is not happening right. The world's seen, obviously, everything. People are scared to speak up because anyone does speak up, their voice is never going to get heard.
I just think it's shocking what's going on, killing, all that killing, and I do. Nothing to do with religion to me. Can't go killing people like that.
We have one policy for children from Ukraine, and then we have one policy for the children from Gaza. We want equality. We want, transparency.
I think it's on everybody's mind because everyone's scared about what's going on in the Middle East, and everyone would like to see, we'd like to see peace, basically. As we would all like to see peace in Ukraine.
But do you think George Galloway would be able to do anything
The way
about
he's
that?
going at the moment, he is doing fundraisings and rallies and stuff like that, which are very good.
Doesn't matter it's going to make a big impact on it or not, right? We're still going to support. The voice gonna keep on sporting for the truth, right? So that's why we will really strongly going to support George Galloway.
Do you think that the Tory party is currently being supportive of that in Gaza?
I think both of the parties, Labour and Conservative, are, very unreluctant to help people, yeah? And they both need to come forward and help humans, whether it is Gaza or whether it is in Rochdale, Belfield, or whether it is in Belfast.
Parliament at the moment, either Labour or Conservative, they are compromised, right? So they're not going to do anything because they close their eyes against all this conflict, right? So we don't trust anymore on these parties. Doesn't matter if it's Labour or Conservative.
George Galloway's got quite a notorious reputation. Do you think you can overlook those things?
Most politicians have, difficulties or have weaknesses, yeah? So it's important that, he's a human at the end of the day, He must have made some blunders. He must have made some issues. He must have made some mistakes. We need to promote the welfare of children.
Yeah, everyone deserves a second chance, regardless whoever, no one's perfect. Everyone deserves a second chance. But yeah, the past is the past. It's all about the present now and the future, basically.